You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Or kind of handcuffed offense, if you will. So I want to get your thought about maybe what we saw play out after we take a listen to Red Raider head coach Joey McGuire, as well as offensive coordinator Mac Leftwich, being asked about pushing the ball down the field and getting it going with some shots, or maybe not, with Will Hammond at the helm.
One, we've pushed the ball down the field more than we have the previous 3 years. And I think that's a change of the offensive coordinator. But that was one thing that we have to do. I think, Will threw a great deep ball to Coy. But there was other ones out there. There's a touchdown to CD that's a crossing route, and, he kind of gets pressured, and, we've got to do a good job of making him feel good when he steps up to keep his eyes downfield. He ends up running on that ball, and if you go back and look, he'll be the first one to tell you he should have kept his eyes downfield, and it's a touchdown to Caleb Douglas.
Talking to him, that's one of the areas, that we wanted him to improve the most. I thought he was patient, and I thought he took what the defense gave him, and at times was maybe a little bit too patient, and want to see him, cut it loose. Had a couple shot plays called, that we checked down or he scrambled for yards, which is good, and he's keeping us on schedule. But when the defense, provides opportunities for us to throw the football down the field, we got to be able to take advantage of that. So I got to do a better job, coaching him and making sure that, he's ready for those moments.
Will Hammond isn't why you lost against Arizona State. He wasn't perfect. I think people, you're this is just what happens, especially around here in Lubbock, Texas. Whoever is in charge of calling the plays is going to get a lot of the blame. Whoever's the quarterback is going to get a lot of the blame. They may both deserve it. Neither may deserve it. But that's just what happens around here. And the head coach, which at times previous, the head coach was the one calling the plays at various times in the past. Will's a young kid. I had somebody be like, man, all those folks that were talking about Will Hammond, like I was one of them, but like I guess I need to be careful what I wish for. And I'm like, okay, so now you're already moved on to the next guy. I mean, is this what we're doing now? I mean, well, he's lost the 2 games that he started. Okay, yeah, bowl game versus Arkansas with a weird roster and everything, and then it's a tough situation to get placed in. Yes, he had a lot of good pieces around him, but a very motivated Arizona State team on the road and all those things. Will's going to be just fine, okay? But he's young. I mean, and this is what happens with young quarterbacks. They are – and it's – say what you want, but it is different when you start a game and you're going to start it and you've prepared for as much, and the other team kind of knows this too, versus coming off the bench and running in there and just away you go. These are different dynamics. But so what you're hearing, I guess, to wrap it up, is there was a few things that they'd missed that were down the field, and that they would like for him to take that shot, or that he missed a read. And this is what happens, though. You get sped up, it gets a little noisy. You feel like you haven't had some success, and so it just becomes easier to stay in a comfort zone underneath and off to the side or whatever. And I mean, this is what you hear Coach Leftwich saying. I've got to coach him to take that shot, to make that throw, to be comfortable with it, to give your, and Reggie Virgil told the media yesterday, after reviewing what we looked like, we weren't probably as sharp and as detailed as we needed to be with some of our routes and the different things. And I think that they realized that they had somebody that was throwing some serious punches back at them, and they maybe didn't punch back as hard as they needed to, all theoretically, of course. But anyway, that's what I see and saw and heard.
I'm Coach McGuire pointed out that he felt like they've pushed it down the field more than they have over the last 3 years, and the numbers would bear that out as far as some of your explosive plays. Just been kind of wondering, is that OC related, pass catcher related, QB related? Maybe just the answer is yes to all of the above. But I'm curious, just to wrap it up really quickly. We're feeling pretty good, I think, on Monday about this being a return back. to Baron Morton this week. Is there any trend in either direction? As I know publicly we're hearing a lot about day-to-day and reevaluation and things, but how do we sit here just between us, Chris? First, today's episode brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. We all make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. And with football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes, all in less than 60 seconds. You're going to love how easy and simple it is to use. And of course, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the Prize Picks app today and use our code LOCKEDONCollege to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONCollege to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. With Prize Picks, run your game.
Well, you'll get your first availability report this evening officially. And I think that there's QB watch on both sides of this game coming up this weekend. So I know this is a shocker to everybody. It feels like this is what we did last week, but here we are. I still am going to be surprised. I don't know how we want to describe these words, if I would be stunned and shocked and all that, but I'll be very surprised if Baron doesn't play this week in some capacity. Whether that's starting and he's 100% or I don't know. I just remember the commentary about you want him in rhythm, and I just know how important this Kansas State game is going to be. And I don't know. So I'll just throw that out there. But again, if he's not healthy and he's not cleared or whatever, then that's not what will happen. It'll be Will Hammond, and away we go, and then we'll move this conversation to next week. I also know that from the Oklahoma State standpoint, Zane Flores has been out for the last couple of weeks. They are using converted wideout Sam Jackson at quarterback. It appears that Flores could show up on this injury report this evening and be maybe closer to questionable or probable than he would be out, and so they could end up being using a quarterback, platoon system with both of them. So just kind of keep your head on the swivel, because we could see as many as anywhere from 2 to 4 different quarterbacks, I guess, this weekend in Lubbock, Texas. I'm just laying it out there to you. Although I guess technically it would be 3 quarterbacks and 1 receiver that's playing quarterback would be the or as many as if I'm being honest.
Every team's dream, a quarterback platoon. That's what you're wanting as you're wrapping up October, no doubt about that. And you bring something up that I hadn't really thought about, but yeah, if there was any lingering absence further, tough place to slide back in, Manhattan, Kansas against Kansas State. And I don't care what the record says. That'd be, let's go ahead and get back in a rhythm. Let's get back in a rhythm. Let's just do it this weekend and love it.
Again, I'm not, I'm not sitting here in Hollywood, but if I have the pen and they say, Chris, here's the blank script, fill it out as you wish, sir. The ideal scenario this weekend is Baron Morton plays really well. You put this game away late second, early third, and he is in said rhythm, and you're good to go. And then Hammond comes in and finishes it up, and maybe he can get back into a rhythm as well. And you get your win. You get your rhythm, and away we go. And then you say the end, and then I hand it back to and they're like, well, this movie sucks. Like I wouldn't pay to watch this thing.
We got more points than that. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I was going to say, but it's my movie, and I enjoyed the butter on the popcorn and the soda water that came with it. And so this is this is it's my script. Damn it. But anyway, I don't. Hey man, that's my perfect script. And off to the side, I would say I love Iowa State for the next 2 weeks, because they do. They have BYU and Arizona State in Ames, Iowa for the next 2 weeks. So so hand them the Cy-Hawk Trophy. I'll never say a bad thing about Matt Campbell and his bent hat or anything like that.
I doubt that. You really hate that hat. I doubt you can live up to that promise.
That's right. I'll save that. I'll save that for another script and another movie down the road or whatever. But yeah, that's what I would offer up, I guess, this weekend from a tech standpoint for sure.
All right. Well, sort of an uncomfortable sentiment to end on, but possibly pulling for some of these that he has mentioned is what would be required or at least handy. So consider it as you would and make your own decision. Number one, win. If you're a Red Raider out there, just stack wins. That's all we're looking for. And do what you can do over these final 5. Chris, appreciate your time as always, man. Enjoyed the conversation, and we'll see you for the next one.
We love you all, people. Keep hope alive, and we'll talk to you next time.
Get subscribed on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts so you never miss an episode. Appreciate the everydayers for always being out there. And, of course, the Matador Mob. Hit our show notes and find a link to a free 14-day trial if you're interested in joining that crew. Your direct line to Chris and myself with one-on-one text sent straight to your phone. For Chris, I'm Casey. Thanks, as always, for the time. We hope to see you back for the next round on Locked On Texas Tech.